Hello, I'm Yinka Bikini and welcome to Out of Frame. Every week I'm joined by incredibly talented people from the world of film and television. And I'm stepping into CrewHQ at the heart of Warner Brothers Studios Leavesden to pull back the industry curtain like you've never seen or heard before. This is Out of Frame. We all know that a good film relies on having strong visuals. But as we're about to find out today, what the camera captures really is just one piece of the pie. The way a film sounds is just as important, and there's nothing quite like settling down with some popcorn to get the full cinematic experience. Someone who oversees all of this is sound mixer Paul Munro. Paul, welcome to Out of Frame.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you are so welcome to be here. Paul, I'm really interested to find out how the sound department works on a film or TV set. But before we get into all of that, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions which I hope tell us a little bit more about who you are through your love of film. Are you ready to be picked apart?
I'm ready to be picked apart.
Love that. What's the last film that you watched that really inspired you?
The last one I saw that I'd say inspired me, I watched a basketball documentary about Giannis. And I'm going to struggle to pronounce his name, so it's an embarrassment. And Kumpu, I believe, which I really enjoyed. It was really inspiring. It was about his struggle coming from family coming from Nigeria, living in Greece, and him just working his way up to play in the NBA, which I thought was really inspiring and good.
I love that you went factual, because obviously that's still a film as well.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't have to, they all live happily ever after.
Yep.
What would be the title of your biopic?
Oh, God. It'd be a very short book. If it was it'd be like a Ladybird book. I accept no feedback. There you go, a little sounds pun.
Oh, that's fun.
There you go. Took me a while to think of that one.
Now that we know you a little bit better, let's explore what it means to be a sound mixer. So first, I want to start by asking, what difference do you think good quality audio makes to a film or a TV show?
It makes everything. I think anything that would draw you out of enjoying the story and the performance is a bad thing, whether it be bad sound, whether it be bad lighting, visual effects, anything like that. So it's very important. Film is a collaboration, so we've all got to be trying to keep the audience in touch with the performance and not take them out of that realm, really. Kind
of like a harmony, right?
Yeah.
So all the departments have to kind of be in sync, even if it's like in slightly different tones or whatever.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to me.
I mean, everyone there is kind of, other than the sound department, working towards the visuals, and there's just one department working towards the sounds, but we're kind of all there for the performance, really, and the story.
Does that put a lot of pressure on your department because sound is so incredibly important to what's on screen, and there are so many different departments for visual. Does it put more pressure on your department?
I mean, obviously we're but we are. Sometimes fighting against the lighting, whether they're using multiple cameras, doing wides and tights, whether it's a noisy costume. But it's all about collaboration and come to these various different departments and trying to work out a way that we can get it all to work and we can all do our jobs and get what we need to get, really, at the end of the day.
Who is on your team? Who makes up the sound department?
So there'd be myself as a mixer. Alex Bryce is my key first AS. Ron Grimmer is my first AS, and Alec Taylor is my second AS.
And what does AS stand for?
Assistant Sound.
Okay. And during the pre-production stage, can you tell me a bit about the conversations that you might be having with the director or the producer? So what do you need to know before recording begins?
Well, first thing to get is a script to see how many characters we've got, maybe locations, to see whether there's anything in the script that might give me any indication to what might cause us problems, whether it be costumes, whether it be special effects, whether it be anything like that. So once you've gone through the scripts, do recce's, production meeting, I would go see costume department, see what the costumes are, speak to the DP, see how many cameras they're going to use, speak to special effects to see how much wind machines they're going to use. All those different types of conversations we'd be having just to try and address any problems before we're actually on set. Because once you're on set and you've got the actors there and you've got 200 people there, you haven't got time to have these long drawn out conversations. And more often than not, you haven't got time to kind of really fix anything to any great level. So all that's done in pre-production, or I'd hope so.
And when you first step foot onto a film set, how do you navigate the space? Because as we found out on this podcast, and you've mentioned, there's lighting, there's cameras, there are camera operators, they're figuring out where they're going to be situated. But then you and your team also need to figure out where you're going to be to capture as much audio as possible as well, right?
In the old days, you used to turn up with just a Nagra or just a machine. Nowadays, you turn up with a big trolley, you're connected to video, sending sound to video. Then video is then connected to DIT to get the pictures back. So we're a whole caravan of departments, really. So the first thing to do is work out where's the best place to go. That we can also run aerials out where we can cover everything that we need to cover on the set from a reception point of view. That's the first thing that we do. Then the director will come in, the artist will come in, they'll start doing block throughs, start working our camera angles. Then from there, we kind of break it down. What we're going to do, can we get a boom in? How's the lighting? What's the camera angles? What are the camera lens sizes? And just kind of work on that sort of stuff, really, getting plant mics in. Then Ron will go off and he start rigging radio mics, and then we're hopefully in a good place to start shooting.
Sometimes when I watch a film, if it's sort of like a super wide angle and someone's in like minuscule clothing and you can hear what they're saying, I just think, where is the mic? Where's the weirdest place you've had to put a microphone?
I don't think I can say on camera. I once got asked when I was a boom operator to put a radio mic on a woman that was basically naked, which was,
Scary times.
That was very scary. She didn't care. I mean, I was petrified.
What about on location? So if a shoot is happening outside, if we're in that wide open space that I was talking about, a field or something, what does setting up for the sound department look like?
Well, the first thing to do, you find your space where you're going to go, try and find the dead area so you don't have to move too much because, moving always takes forever.
And is the dead area sort of like behind the camera line?
Yes, generally, or if there's a load of trucks out there in the background, they're not going to shoot towards the trucks. So if you set up in kind of that field of view, you're going to be kind of okay.
Okay.
And the first thing to do is check out for background noises. How close are the generators? Are we underneath a flight path? Is there roadworks near, building work? Is there a busy motorway or something like that? Anything we can do to, obviously we can't move the motorway, but if we can move the generators or put the generators a little bit further away, that's generally the first thing you do on location. Look for background noise.
I guess it's like, are we next to a school? Is it lunchtime? That sort of stuff. Yeah. And outside of the dialogue, can you tell me about the rest of the sound on a film production? How does that come together? Like, what else do you have to consider?
If you are doing a dialogue scene with an actor and the actor's whispering, and it's like a big emotional scene, is the director going to have like a film score over that? Do we need to get more of a stage whisper out of them so that can compete with the score that the director's going to put over? It's kind of stuff that you think about. Obviously we kind of concentrate primarily on the dialogue and some sound effects.
I know that you've worked on a real range of action films, including the Marvels and Ghostbusters. So if we take special effects as an example, how are those recorded?
So on Ghostbusters, we did something which I've never really done before. The director wanted us to do basically sound design, sound effects, and play them back live as we were shooting. So whenever they pulled a proton pack out, you could hear the whirling of it starting up. When there's the proton stream coming out, you could hear that, the ghost trap opening. So he wanted all that live at the time. So quite often it was like, Paul, we want this, and this. Okay. And turn over. I was like, whoa, can you just give us 5-10 minutes just to try and work something out? In terms of explosions, we normally record that as we put out a separate recorder. We record onto all the booms at 32-bit float, and then I record on my main machine as well. So there's various different bites of the cherry that post can use. It's
surprising to hear that was a first for Ghostbusters in terms of playing live effects, because as a film fan, when you're watching it, I guess that's the trick of film really, isn't it? You assume that, I don't know, if it's a scream or if it's an explosion or it's a proton pack or a monster, that is what the actors are reacting to.
Yeah, more often than not, no. They're just reacting to the first AD going, and monster?
Does anyone go like, chomp, chomp, chomp?
Sometimes, yeah.
Is it you?
No, it's absolutely not me. I'm the quietest member on set.
When you have a sort of crowded scene, and there are lots of extras, and it might be a bustling place like a bar or a nightclub or a train station.
Yeah.
Is that sort of recorded in layers? So, or is it all kind of recorded at the same time?
So if it's a wide shot, we generally let everyone kind of talk and walk around, and we would get the general background sound that way. Then when we're cutting for close-ups, we'd lay hundreds of carpets down and get everyone to be quiet so we can capture all the dialogue clean. And then that will be put together later.
Like a juicy sound sandwich.
Exactly.
Paul, each week I ask the incredibly talented, talking about you, crew members I meet to bring something in with them, an object that helps describe what it's like to work on a film or TV set on a day-to-day basis. So what have you brought in with you to the CrewHQ studio today?
So I brought in my first recorder, which is a Nagra 4.2 1/4 inch, and this is what we used to record on back in the day. Only mono. So everything we recorded was mixed down to a mono track. So if you messed up the mix, you're in trouble.
That's it.
Yeah.
That looks really heavy.
It is. Do you want to feel it?
I do, but I don't, you know, let me give it a go.
I mean, we used to have to wear these around our necks at times. You got it?
So, film goes in here.
Well, 1/4 inch tape. Yeah.
Tape goes in there.
Yep.
You wiggle it around.
Put it around the heads. Yep.
Yep. And then it goes into the magic box.
Yep.
And then you plug in.
Yep.
What memories come to mind with this bad boy?
Well, basically neck pain is one of them. What memories? Well, it was kind of a simpler time back then. It's like, you know, if you need another take, you could ask the director, go, look, you know, we need another one. Nowadays, you very rarely can ask for another take.
Why has that changed? Because technology's advanced?
I think because, yes, I mean, primarily technology is advanced. I mean, we've got so many tracks. I mean, this is what we'd use for effects recording now, which is like 6 tracks.
So you haven't just brought one thing in, you've brought in something else as well. So what is this?
I have. This is a more modern recorder, a 6-track Zoom F6, which is kind of what we'd use for effects recording.
So do you remember any specific productions that you worked on using this bad boy?
Yeah, Band of Brothers.
Really?
Is one of them, yeah. Because we had lots of explosions.
Yeah.
So we wanted to try and record some of it analog, because analog distortion sounds amazing compared to digital distortion.
Okay.
So it was lots of gunfire, lots of explosions. So we used one of those to record that in analog as well as digital. And
how old is this?
Over 40 years old. So
it was made before you were born?
No, I don't think quite that.
Yes, it was, Paul.
Okay, we'll say yes.
Yes, it was. And how does something like this capture audio compared to what you used to have?
Well, obviously, it's a lot lighter now. You can record more microphones. Beforehand, you'd be able to plug 3 microphones into that and mix it down to a single track. Whereas this, you put 6 microphones in, and then you put it down. Each one be separated on its own ISO track, but then you'd have a mixed track as well. The capacity of this would probably run for weeks, and you wouldn't use up the SD card. With that, we used to have to change the 1/4 inch tape like every, 7-8 minutes. So
really?
Yeah.
So you record into something like this, depending on the size of the production. What happens next? So
basically, all the microphones go in, I record it, mix it, give a mix track. At the end of the day, I then give them a hard drive. I would transfer everything that we've recorded that day on that roll, put it onto a hard drive. That would then go off to the lab, be sunk up with all the visuals, the camera footage. Then that would then go onto editorial so they can cut it all together.
And do you have any particularly good memories of this Stingray?
Yes, I did. This is a Zoom F6. I used this on a film called Black Bag, which was directed by Steven Soderbergh. He wanted us to he liked us to record in ambisonics, which is like basically surround sound.
Okay.
So he did this shot of Michael Fassbender walking through an alleyway, doing a turn into a nightclub, through this bar, down the stairs, into a dance area, meets someone, comes out the back entrance, and then they get into a 2-handed bit of dialogue. So what we ended up doing is a boom operator had this strapped around him with the ambisonics mic. We put a microphone on a pack on our poor Steadicam operator on the cap, so he had something going through there, because we obviously couldn't take the car all the way through. So that was recording all the footsteps and all the atmos. Downstairs, we had a playback rig playing all the playback, and then when they come out the other side, I was there to record all the dialogue. So I've got good memories of doing that because Stephen was like, "Okay, this is what we're doing. Go." So it's like, right, how are we going to do this?
No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. No big deal.
Well, thank you for bringing these in.
You're welcome.
Paul, now that I have a better idea of what the work a sound mixer does is like, I would love to learn a little bit more about your own journey. So can you talk to me about how you first got your foot in the industry door?
Well, I got family in the industry, so that obviously helps. But I had no intention of coming into the film industry. I had planned to go be a pilot, but my grades at school were terrible. So I was going to join the army. And my dad said to me, "Why don't you come to the film industry? You get paid more money, get to wear your own clothes, and the only thing that gets shot is film." And I thought, oh, that's a good point. And I always had a kind of an interest in electronics as a kid. I played in bands and was obsessed with film. So I never really thought about it. It was like, okay, this kind of makes sense. Maybe I was sort of destined to do this, really.
Do you remember what the first production you worked on was?
Oh, God. The first actual production I worked on was a TV show called Thief Takers, which was supposed to be, it was supposed to be a modern version of the Sweeney. I don't know if any of you guys remember that. Yeah, it's a long time ago.
But of course, since then, you've worked on some pretty epic productions, including Loki, Cruella, The Sandman. When you're working with a huge cast and crew, and there's a lot that goes into it, what have you learned about making sure the sound department captures everything they absolutely need to?
Preparation is kind of what I would say. I always go into every production with a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, and a plan D, because things can change. You know, lighting can change. You know, actors can decide this is not what we're going to do. We're going to do something different. Costumes can change. So you have to be adaptable the entire time. And more often than not, the thing that works is a mixture of plan A and plan D, and then maybe some of E. Yeah.
Like plan exclamation point.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And I know that you've also worked on dramas and thrillers as well, like Magic Mike and The Peripheral. And these genres tend to come with a few intimate scenes where the dialogue is really important. How does that compare to recording bigger action sequences?
Well, you're kind of more involved with it, really. And it's a lot more intimate. So, you know, you'll generally be action scenes, they'd be screaming and shouting. So, you know, you generally can get the mics a bit further away and don't have to worry about it. When it's quite an intimate scene, you have to be, you know, really spot on with trying to get the mics as close as possible, trying to get levels up if you can. You know, if it's an intimate, you know, bedroom sequence, you know, normally people are half dressed. So you need to think about getting like plant mics in headrests or, you know, positions just out of shot. To try and capture it all.
I can imagine that there are mistakes that you've learned from along the way.
I've probably made every mistake you can possibly make.
What kind of mistakes have you made?
Oh, God. I mean, dropping mics into shot or like backing into like lights or, you know, radio mics falling off. And when someone's running and you just see the pack trailing behind them, you know, it's stuff like that, you know, it's, you know, we've only got one take to get this, and then the mic falls off. You know,
fun.
You know, yeah, not so fun.
After shooting comes post-production. What does post-production look like for the sound department?
Well, once it's in post-production, our sounds will then go to a dialogue editor. Then we'll cut it all together to match the picture. It will then go to Foley. They put sound effects and all that kind of stuff on. And then we'll go to a re-recording mixer who will mix it all together with the score and create what you hear in the cinemas.
It's so layered.
Yeah.
It's so layered. How long on average do you work on a particular, like one production?
It depends. I just finished a film last week, which was 7 weeks. The one I did before that was 4 months. I did a film last year. I was kind of on it for 7 months in the end. So, yeah. How
satisfying is it when a film sort of finally comes together for you, when you watch it for the first time knowing that you've worked on it?
It's really satisfying, yeah, to think all those hours and weeks and months and, you know, that we've been working on something comes together and is, you know, enjoyable and, you know, the audience like it. especially when you're doing like shoots when you're knee deep in mud with rain machines and it's just miserable. And, you think, you know what, it was worth it in the end.
What's been your favourite production to work on? I mean, it must be difficult for you to say because, I can keep scrolling through your resume.
I don't know, this is probably going to be out of left field, but Ab Fab the movie was probably one of my favourite jobs to work on.
Why?
It was just completely insane. Completely insane. You had all these cameos coming in. Our director, love her to bits, she was bonkers. It was just good. It was just a good laugh. It was just fun.
Paul, I can see by talking to you today just how much you enjoy working in the film industry. But when it comes to film trivia, are you someone I can count on?
I hope so.
You were asked to choose a specialist subject before coming here today within the world of film and TV.
Yep.
And now I'm going to hit you with 3 questions on that topic. They're multiple choice.
Okay.
Your topic is the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It is, because it's literally the only thing I get to watch with the kids other than Taylor Swift or Charlie and Lola. So.
It's a pretty wide topic that you've chosen.
Yep.
So we're going to focus on 3 iconic Marvel films to try and keep things simple.
Okay.
Because otherwise you're dealing with Spider-Verses and you're dealing with timelines.
Oh, God.
And who even is the Hulk now?
I have no idea.
All right. So question number 1. What is the name of the treaty that divides the Avengers? Is it A, the Avengers Initiative?
Yep.
Is it B, the Sokovia Accords? Or is it C, the Vormir Treaty?
B.
It is B. You didn't even blink. Oh, gosh. It was a set of legal documents established by the United Nations designed to regulate the activities of enhanced individuals, and essentially it placed the Avengers under supervision. Naughty, naughty, let them live their lives. You're off to a good start.
Good.
Question number 2. In Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, along with her undercover family, live where during her youth? Is it A, Cuba, B, New York, or C, Ohio?
I'm going to say C, Ohio.
And that would be correct. So her story starts with a fairly ordinary life in Ohio in 1995. But when her father returns home from work with terrible news, they must flee, and they don't stop until they reach Cuba. So I tried to trip you up there.
Oh, I see what you did.
Yeah.
It's a bit sneaky.
And actually in Cuba is where she starts to train with the Red Room. Okay, you're doing really well.
Good.
Question number 3. What is the name of Deadpool's roommate? Is it A, Blind Joe? Is it B, Blind Al? Or is it C, Blind Pat?
B, Blind Al.
Yes, it is!
This is the only test I've ever passed in my life.
Do you know what?
Such a geek.
We'll clip this bit up and then you can have it.
Yeah, great.
Put it on your TikTok.
Fantastic.
Yeah, well done. Well done.
So sad.
I'll be honest with you, I only knew the answer to A. The others, I couldn't. And I thought that I was a Marvel girly, but well done. Well done.
Thank you.
You feel good in it?
Yeah, I do. I feel like I've accomplished something in life.
Paul, honestly, I've loved speaking to you today. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and drop some knowledge at CrewHQ. I've gained, I would say, like a much better appreciation for the sound in a movie and not just the way that it looks. For our listeners who are interested in one day having a career like your own, what do you think is a good first step?
Wow. Passion for it. I think with the hours you work and some of the sacrifices you have to make, you've got to have passion for it.
And what skills do you think make a good sound mixer?
Well, organisation definitely comes into it. Patience, diplomacy. Understanding, really. Understanding what the actors are going through, understanding that everyone's got a job to do. And thinking outside the box as well. Because more often than not, you've got to come up with creative solutions.
Could you talk a little bit about the route to sound mixer? So you mentioned assistant roles and boom operators. What does that career path look like?
I mean, some people go to university, come out of film school and decide to become mixers. Other people go through the ranks. I went through the ranks, started off as a sound assistant. I was a sound assistant for 3 years, a boom op for 10 years, and then become a mixer thereafter. So I've been a mixer for 20 years now.
And you look 12, honestly.
Thank you. Don't feel it.
Before I let you go, I would love for you to share some parting words of wisdom. So for any member of the Below the Line team, what do you think is a good thing to do on day one of production?
Don't be late. Turn up early. I mean, I always try and turn up early just to kind of get ahead on things, to try and plan what I'm going to do during the day, because things are always going to change. So at least if you've got everything kind of up and running, you've then got time to think about stuff and be adaptable, and you're not on the back foot the entire time.
Thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you for watching and listening. We'll be back next week with more conversations, more stories, and more insight. And if you've been enjoying this podcast, then we would love to hear from you. Let us know what you've learned and any questions you might have about the film industry. You can send us a message at We Are CrewHQ on Instagram and TikTok. Until next time, take care.